I'm gonna start off by asking you guys this question. Can I get a show of hands of how many of you have struggled and went through a tough situation and been worked up and had no way to cope? Well, I know I have. And I also know that I was a daddy's girl. Oh, wrong way. Sorry, guys.
Daddy Robbie! Daddy Robbie! Daddy Robbie! Daddy Robbie! Daddy Robbie!
So in that video, you see that I was a daddy's girl. At the age of 2 or 3, we moved out, and that was really hard. But we did make good memories with my dad. This is my twin sister, Reagan. She is cognitively impaired, but we had a blast at the bowling alley. You know, my dad bet me $100 I couldn't make a split. And if you don't know what a split is in bowling, it's where the pins are far apart. Well, I made it. And like every little girl loves, they love to go shopping. He took me shopping. So I made a timeline to show my life. In 2008, Reagan and I were born. Well then, my mom and dad got divorced. We left in 2011, but their divorce was finalized in 2012. Well then in 2016, Reagan and I went bowling with Dad. Well, a couple years later, my dad blows weed in my face. No kid wants weed in their face. That was the downfall of our relationship. My dad was an absent father. We were not close, but when we were, we had a blast. My mom no longer allowed visitations with my dad due to bad choices and escalating alcohol consumption. 2 years later, in 2023, my dad commits suicide and dies. This led to me feeling lost. I felt the hurt, I felt the guilt, I felt everything. So I needed to find a coping skill. I began writing. And how did this start? Well, I was scrolling on my phone and I wandered upon this girl named Reagan, and Reagan writes spoken word poetry. I said, let me give it a try, and I did, and I wrote my first poem. So I'm gonna read an excerpt because the poem was just too long. It's called I Love You Every Day. I sit here and wonder why I can listen to certain songs without crying, but then I turn on that one song. I catch myself to the point where tears are streaming down my face and I find it hard to breathe, constantly wondering why I can't be your little Petey again. Then I sit in silence and realize I can't think of guitars without thinking of you. I can't think of those cool rock bands you try to show me without thinking of you. I've noticed you and me more than anyone else, and I will continue to wonder why you did it. Why did you make that choice? Sometimes I think it's my fault. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. There are so many words I wish I would have said before it was too late, so these are my final words. I love you every day. I found that writing poetry helped me get through this traumatic event. It is a coping skill. Here's what worked for me. I found that writing and talking about my feelings and seeking help and getting outside were tremendous help in my getting over the traumatic event. It has only been a year, mind you. But if you need coping skills, what might also work for you is painting, meditation, joining a club, hanging out with animals, because who doesn't love animals? Acknowledge your feelings and get some sun. So, as I said, writing has helped with my feelings and getting them out. I became way more comfortable with my feelings and getting them out on pieces of paper. So I wrote another poem and I thought I'd share it. It's called Okay. What's the real meaning behind the word okay? When people ask me how I'm doing and how I'm feeling, all I say is, I'm okay. They continue to reply with, that's good. But is it really? Am I just saying I'm okay so I don't have to overgo a conversation about why I'm not? I'm okay. Those are my safe words. I feel comfort in saying I'm okay. But is feeling just okay normal? Why is it when I see all the other girls, they all feel like they have just seen the new Taylor Swift album drop, and I feel like I'm drowning? Why is it fair for me just to be okay? I want to feel more than just okay. So my main takeaway with this is not that it's a somber story. Yes, it happened. Yes, I'm hurting. But my main takeaway for you guys tonight is that you can get through tough situations that you were unexpectedly put in with coping skills. You just have to find what works best for you. Thank you for coming, my TED Talk.